Hey guys, this is the Golden Sorcerer, and since it is spooky season, I am going to be going over what I think are the top 10 best horror movies of all time. And horror is probably my favorite movie genre, because I like a bunch of different types of movies. But there's just something like I really enjoy about the intense scares and heart-pounding moments that horror movies have. And this video was really hard to make because there are just so many great ones to choose from. And you might not agree with it, but keep in mind that it's just my opinion. And yeah, before I get started, here's some honorable mentions.
You dirty bird. How could you? Misery Chastain cannot be dead.
Misery Spirit is still alive.
I don't want her, Spirit! I want her! And you murdered her! You don't think he's dead, do you? And don't even think about anybody coming for you.
I dreamed someone's raping me. I have to make a baby.
Don't fall asleep. Make no mistake. There are those who will die for him. There are those who will kill for him. Who is he? What does he want? Where did he come from? And can he be stopped? 1, 2, 3.
I don't know what hovers over this house. I've never sensed anything like it.
That thing is in there with my baby! She isn't gone. She had private rituals, private friends.
Men have just discovered something. For 100,000 years, it was buried in the snow and ice. Now it has found a place to live. Inside. Where no one can see it, or hear it, or feel it. I know I'm human.
In John Carpenter's masterpiece, The Thing, he uses a slick combination of special effects, gore, and suspense to create an unrelenting thrill ride that will have you hooked in from the second it starts playing. And when the movie came out at the time, it really set a bar for special effects. And it has been listed by many people as one of the scariest horror movies of all time, and also one of the greatest science fiction and horror movies of all time too. And coming in at number 9 is It.
Bill, if you will come with me, you'll float too.
I saw something.
The clown. Yeah, I saw him too.
Now, this is without a doubt my favorite horror movie, and favorite movie of all time for that matter. But since this video is just called Top 10 Best Horror Movies, and not my top 10 favorite, I figured this is where I'd put it, because I feel like the ones ahead of it deserve the spot more. But yeah, this was a really incredible movie. Andy Muschietti was the perfect director for it. And Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is definitely like one of the most iconic horror villains of all time. And he was like just really like terrifying as the role, unlike Tim Curry, who was just really laughable. And yeah, and this movie has like a great cast, and yeah, and this is just a really great movie and definitely one of the best horror movies of the generation. And coming in at number 8 is Get Out.
Get out. Sorry, man. Get out! Yo! Rose, we gotta go.
Is everything okay?
Rose, the keys. Just get the keys.
I don't know where they are.
Rose!
This is without a doubt the best horror movie of this generation, in my opinion, because it just like brought something really unique and genre bending to the horror genre that wasn't ever really seen before. And although some people could argue that this is just a thriller movie, I think it's a horror movie too, because if you look up the genre, it is labeled as a horror movie. And yeah, this movie is just full of like so many moments that just like suck you in. And it's full of like a lot of twists and turns. And like, let's be honest, that moment where we find out that Rose was secretly working against Chris the whole time was a huge kick in the balls. And yeah, it's just like really well directed and acted. And it's just a really great movie. And if one thing's for certain after this, I never want to visit my girlfriend's parents' house. And coming in at number 7 is Jaws. One of the biggest summer blockbusters of all time. When this movie came out, it made everyone afraid to go in the water. And although it's not quite as scary by today's standards, and the shark does look pretty fake, you still can't deny how well made and directed this movie was. And what it does really good is how it doesn't like show the shark. So, and that like does a better job of like building up suspense, because like we know it's there, but we can't see it, and we're just like waiting for it to like show itself and come out and attack. And the first moment in the movie is definitely one of the most iconic horror movie moments, and maybe even movie moments of all time. And coming in at number 6 is Alien. This is without a doubt the greatest movie that blends horror with sci-fi. Yeah, Aliens is just such a genre-bending masterpiece, and it has arguably like some of the best build-up suspense ever seen. And it's just like full of like so many iconic moments, like the chest bursting scene, and it has a nice score to it that really helps like build up the scares. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this movie. It's just a really amazing both horror and sci-fi movie, and is considered as one of the greatest of both horror and sci-fi. And coming in at number 5 is Halloween. Now, no top 10 horror movie list would be completed without Halloween. Because, like, this movie had, like, such a huge influence on the genre, especially of, like, the slasher part of the horror movie. And it has one of the most iconic horror villains, if not the most iconic, Michael Myers, bitch. And yeah, and what's really like cool about like Michael Myers is he's like just a true horror movie villain because he shows absolutely no emotion like for the stuff he does, and it just makes him a lot more creepier and scarier. And it also has like such an iconic score with one of the most well-known theme songs, da na 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 na, and the music does a really good job at, and it makes the movie a lot scarier, honestly. So yeah, this is just definitely a horror movie classic and always will be. And coming in at number 4 is The Silence of the Lambs.
What he is. But he's a monster. Pure psychopath. So rare to capture one alive.
So close to the way you're going to catch him. Do you realize that? I'll clarify your problem.
Who knew a movie about something as weird as a transgender dude who kidnaps females so he can wear their skins could be so good? Well, that's exactly what the case with Silence of the Lambs. Phenomenally well written and directed, and with amazing performances, especially those of Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, this movie became an instant hit. And Hannibal Lecter is definitely one of the most well-developed and interesting horror movie villains, because he's not just like a masked killer like Michael Myers, who shows no emotion, but he's actually shown to have like signs of humanity, despite being a ruthless, cannibalistic killer. And like every time he's on screen, he just manages to be like really creepy yet entertaining, and him and Clarice's interactions are all entertaining, and it makes it feel like you're watching someone actually interact with a real psychopath. And the movie does a great job building up suspense throughout that all leads to a climactic ending. And this is the highest rated horror movie on IMDb. And coming in at number 3 is The Exorcist.
Nobody expected it. All right, let's see what.
Now, I've seen a ton of horror movies, but this, along with The Omen, are really the only ones that actually scared me. I don't know, this movie just like feels so real, even to this day. And it's been considered by a lot as the scariest movie of all time, which really makes sense if you watch it. And yeah, this movie had like really great special effects for this time. And it has really great performances that manage to make the movie seem even more real. And yeah, this is just such an outstanding horror movie with an amazing direction, and it has been considered as many as, and some have even said this is the best horror movie of all time. And coming in at number 2 is The Shining.
Isolation can, of itself, become a problem.
Although Stephen King may not have approved of this movie, this has been considered by many people as one of the greatest horror movies, and some have even said it's one of the greatest movies of all time. And yeah, Jack Nicholson does such an iconic job, and he's definitely the main highlight of this movie. And this movie is proof that you don't need like jump scares to like just scare the audience. You just need a lot of like build up suspense and psychological terror. And yeah, this movie is just full of great directing and great performances, and and has some great music to go along with it too. And yeah, coming in at number 1 is Psycho.
Here we have a quiet little motel, when in fact it has now become known as the scene of the crime.
You have a vacancy.
Now this has to be number 1 if you ask me, because it's what pretty much started the whole horror thing in the first place. Like, horror wouldn't even really be a thing if this movie didn't come out. And yeah, even to this day, this still remains a really great movie. And the black, even though it's like black and white, I honestly think it seems better that way because it fits more well with like the atmosphere. And yeah, this has just like so many iconic moments, from like the shower scene, from the ending, and it's just like really well written and directed, and it's just an all around great movie, and definitely deserves the #1 spot in my opinion. And so yeah, those are what I think are the top 10 best horror movies of all time. What is your list? Comment down below. And if you enjoyed, then be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. And yeah, see you all next time.